In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 college football games happening on October 12, 2024, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 college football games after fully watching this video. One thing before we start, if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Iowa State versus West Virginia. 2 Big 12 teams will clash in a critical matchup this Saturday night as they both aim to secure a victory in the Mountaineer State. The number 11 Iowa State Cyclones hit the road to take on the West Virginia Mountaineers in what promises to be a competitive game. Iowa State is coming off a commanding 43-21 win over Baylor at home, easily covering the spread as a 12.5-point favorite. On the other hand, West Virginia is riding high after a dominant 38-14 road win over Oklahoma State, where they exceeded expectations and won outright as a 3-point underdog. Historically, the series between these teams has been tight, with West Virginia holding a slight 6-5 advantage. However, it was Iowa State that came out on top in the most recent meeting, winning 31-14 at home on November 5, 2022. The betting line for the Iowa State versus West Virginia showdown suggests a potential trap. Iowa State, a top-ranked team, is favored on the road, yet they haven't faced a high-powered offense this season, and about 70% of public bets are leaning toward the Cyclones. Despite this, Iowa State's team is the real deal, and after West Virginia's recent blowout victory over Oklahoma State, bettors might be getting the Cyclones at a more favorable price. In terms of coaching, talent, and statistical dominance, Iowa State holds a clear edge. Their defense is ranked 13th overall, 6th in scoring defense, and ranks in the top 10 in multiple defensive metrics, including defensive expected points added margin and expected points added per dropback. Even though their schedule hasn't been overly challenging, Iowa State's defense is legitimate and should present problems for West Virginia's offense. On the offensive side of the ball, the Cyclones have been equally solid, ranking within the top 26 for both expected points added rush and expected points added per dropback. West Virginia's defense, in contrast, has been inconsistent throughout the season. While they performed admirably against a lackluster Oklahoma State offense, their secondary remains a significant weakness. The Mountaineers are ranked 124th in defensive passing efficiency and 106th in expected points added per dropback, which could spell trouble against Iowa State's balanced attack. Furthermore, when West Virginia faced a top 15 defense earlier this season, Penn State in Week 1, they struggled, managing only 12 points. Despite recent improvements, the West Virginia Mountaineers face a tough challenge in this game. Morgantown is a notoriously difficult place for opponents to play, and the home crowd will certainly be fired up with a ranked opponent in town. However, Iowa State is a battle-tested team that excels in both running the football and playing elite defense, 2 key ingredients for success in a hostile road environment. With the Cyclones only needing to cover a field goal and boasting a 4-1 record against the spread this season, they seem well positioned to win and cover as favorites. West Virginia's struggles defending the pass could allow Iowa State quarterback Beck to exploit the secondary, giving the Cyclones a good chance to come out on top. Therefore, the Iowa State Cyclones to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Iowa State's ability to dictate the pace of games through their defense has resulted in lower scoring matchups throughout the season. Their defensive unit has been effective at shutting down opposing passing games, while their offense takes a more methodical approach, steadily breaking down opposing defenses. With that in mind, the total points for this game seem set too high, especially considering Iowa State's style of play, which doesn't typically involve high-scoring outputs. Additionally, when West Virginia has been an underdog this season, the under has hit in both instances. Looking at the broader trends, Iowa State has seen the over hit in 3 of their first 5 games this season. However, their road games have shown mixed results. In a matchup against Iowa, the teams combined for just 39 points, undercutting a total set at 36.5. Meanwhile, in a game against Houston, the combined score was only 20 points, far below the expected total of 42.5. West Virginia, on the other hand, has seen the over hit in 3 of their 5 games this year, including 2 of their 3 home games. The Mountaineers managed to score 46 points in a loss to Penn State, just missing the over on a 48. and a half-point total, but they exceeded the over in wins over Albany and Kansas with combined point totals of 63 and 60, respectively. Given Iowa State's strong defense, points might be harder to come by in this contest, making the under a safer bet for the total. Therefore, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Kansas State versus Colorado. The Big 12 action will take center stage in the late-night college football lineup this Saturday. Folsom Field will play host to the number 18 Kansas State Wildcats as they face off against the Colorado Buffaloes, who will be defending their home turf. This game is particularly notable because it marks the first time these two teams have met since 2010, when Colorado emerged victorious with a 44-36 win at home. The anticipation is high for what promises to be an exciting showdown. Kansas State enters this game with a strong 4-1 record, their only defeat coming at the hands of Brigham Young University in a decisive 38-9 loss on the road. Despite that setback, the Wildcats have mostly looked dominant this season and remain among the top contenders to win the Big 12, currently holding the second-best odds to do so. In one of their more competitive games, Kansas State narrowly edged out Tulane on the road with a 34-27 victory. This upcoming contest will be another challenging road test for the Wildcats. Meanwhile, Colorado has emerged as one of the most thrilling teams to watch in college football this season. The Buffaloes also stand at 4-1, with their only loss coming early in the season against Nebraska. However, they've managed to prevail in two close games decided by just one score, including a recent upset victory against UCF, where they were plus 11.5 underdogs. With one of the top teams in the Big 12 coming to Boulder, fans can expect another electrifying game. On paper, these two teams appear to be quite evenly matched. Kansas State's offense ranks 52nd nationally, while Colorado's offense is not far behind, ranking 56th. Defensively, there is a bit more separation, with Kansas State ranking 42nd and Colorado at 65th. However, when looking more closely at the statistics, the difference isn't as stark as those rankings suggest. Kansas State allows an average of 20 points and 336 yards per game, while Colorado gives up an average of 23 points and 379.6 yards per contest. These numbers indicate that the gap between the two defenses might not be as significant as it first appears. The real difference maker in this game could come down to the quarterbacks and the influence of the home crowd. Kansas State's quarterback, Avery Johnson, has completed 61% of his passes, throwing for 879 yards, 9 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions. On the other side, Colorado's Shedeur Sanders has been exceptional, boasting a 70% completion rate, 1,630 passing yards, 14 touchdowns, and only 3 interceptions. Sanders' performance could give Colorado a decisive edge, especially since they have been consistently winning games and covering the spread. The Buffaloes are 7-3 against the spread in their last 10 games and a perfect 3-0 against the spread in their last 3. In contrast, Kansas State has struggled on the road, going 2-5 against the spread in their last 7 away games and 4-5-1 against the spread in their last 10 overall. Kansas State has shown vulnerability when playing away from home, allowing a combined 65 points in their 2 road games this season. They have consistently struggled in these matchups, while Colorado has proven that Folsom Field is a difficult venue for opponents. The Buffaloes' explosive passing game keeps them competitive in every contest, and this week will be no different. Kansas State has not defended the pass well, which is a concerning factor as they face a dynamic Colorado offense. As a result, it's unlikely that Kansas State will be able to pull away during the game. While their offense might perform adequately, Colorado is expected to put up 30 or more points, as they have in every home game this season. Kansas State hasn't demonstrated the ability to make enough defensive stops to change that pattern. Kansas State continues to be favored in this matchup largely because of their established reputation as a more proven team, especially on the defensive side of the ball. However, despite their perceived defensive strength, they have struggled to contain high-powered passing offenses. On the other hand, Colorado's defense has shown signs of improvement in recent weeks, and they made progress in their running game against UCF. If Colorado can maintain an effective running attack, their offense could become even more dangerous. The Buffaloes have been reliable as underdogs, with a 7-3 against the spread record in their last 10 games in that role, and including a 3-0 against the spread mark as home underdogs last season. For this game, the Colorado Buffaloes to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Kansas State's offense is built around their powerful running game, which has been one of the best in the nation this season. Averaging 6.93 yards per carry, the Wildcats rank second in the country in that category, and they have also put up an impressive 37 points per game. Against a Colorado defense that has shown weaknesses in stopping the run, especially in their matchup against Oregon, Kansas State is expected to control the clock and move the ball efficiently. This will force Colorado to respond quickly to keep pace. However, Colorado's offense has plenty of firepower of its own, led by quarterback Shedeur Sanders and standout playmaker Travis Hunter. The Buffaloes are ranked 10th nationally in passing offense, with Sanders already throwing for 1,725 yards and 15 touchdowns. While Kansas State's defense is solid, they have yet to face an offense as explosive and capable of stretching the field as Colorado's. The game is shaping up to be a battle of balance. Kansas State's ground game will likely dominate time of possession, but they are also capable of scoring quickly when they find openings. Colorado, in contrast, will rely heavily on their passing attack, with Sanders looking to push the tempo. Given the offensive capabilities of both teams, the total over-under of 56.5 points seems low. Colorado's games this season have seen an average of 59.5 combined points, with the Buffaloes allowing 57 points in just 2 home games and a defense that surrenders 4 yards per carry. They are vulnerable to Kansas State's powerful rushing attack, which ranks in the top 10 nationally. At the same time, Kansas State's defense gives up 7.7 yards per pass attempt and allows 244.2 passing yards per game. Given Colorado's top 10 passing offense, they will likely exploit this weakness, with Kansas State allowing 65 points in their 2 road games and Colorado scoring 69 points in their 2 home games. This contest is expected to be a high-scoring affair. As a result, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Boise State versus Hawaii. The Boise State Broncos are gearing up to travel to Honolulu, Hawaii, where they will face off against the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors at the Clarence T.C. Ching Athletics Complex. Boise State enters the game as one of the top teams in the Mountain West Conference, holding a strong overall record of 4-1 and remaining undefeated in the conference at 1-0. On the other hand, Hawaii has struggled this season, posting a 2-3 record and losing their only conference game thus far, sitting at 0-1 in the Mountain West Conference. The last time these two teams met was in 2020, when Boise State came out victorious with a close 40-32 win. This matchup presents a significant challenge for Hawaii, as Boise State will be the first-ranked opponent they have faced this season. Hawaii's schedule has not been particularly tough, and 2 of their 5 games have been against teams outside of major conferences. Boise State is expected to capitalize on this disparity as they lead the league in scoring. With a high-powered offense and a stout defense, the Broncos should have little trouble moving the ball and keeping Hawaii's offense in check. The Rainbow Warriors have struggled offensively this season, and it is likely that Boise State will consistently score on their drives while halting Hawaii's efforts to put points on the board. Hawaii's run defense, while respectable, has allowed an average of 120.6 yards per game, ranking 46th nationally, and 3.8 yards per carry, which ties them for 53rd. However, they will face a daunting task in trying to contain Boise State's star running back, Ashton Jeanty, and the Broncos' formidable offensive line. Even Oregon, ranked 7th at the time, had difficulty with Jeanty, who ran for 192 yards and scored 3 touchdowns in that game. Given Jeanty's performance, it is expected that he will have another standout showing against Hawaii. In addition, Boise State is not solely reliant on their running game, as quarterback Maddox Madsen has been highly effective, amassing 1,056 passing yards, 10 touchdowns, and just 2 interceptions so far this season. With their balanced attack, the Broncos are poised to extend their winning streak against the Rainbow Warriors. As mentioned earlier, Boise State has dominated Hawaii in recent years, winning the last 9 consecutive meetings between the two teams. The Broncos are also 7-1 against the spread in their last 8 matchups with Hawaii and have covered the spread in each of their last 5 conference games. Boise State enters this game with one of the most explosive offenses in the country, largely thanks to the stellar play of running back Ashton Jeanty. In their first 5 games of the season, the Broncos have put up impressive point totals of 62, 45, 56, 34, and 56 points, respectively. Given Hawaii's continued struggles, including losses to San Diego State and UCLA by a combined 6 points, it's unlikely that they will be able to keep pace with Boise State's offensive firepower. So the Boise State Broncos to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Although Boise State has allowed a significant number of passing yards this season, this has largely been a result of their opponents being forced to play catch-up due to the Broncos' early leads. Hawaii, which relies heavily on its passing game, will likely contribute to what is expected to be a high-scoring contest when the Rainbow Warriors host Boise State. Notably, each of Boise State's last 8 games has gone over the projected total, with all 5 games this season featuring at least 70 combined points. While Hawaii's recent games have tended to hit the under, with the under cashing in 5 of their last 6 matchups, it is doubtful that they will be able to slow down the Broncos' prolific offense. Therefore, over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.